Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I'm Marl Gonzalez, and welcome to today's session of Pinoy Builders webinar entitled Building It Forward, the Future of Green and Sustainable Construction. Our last and final speaker earned his degree in Industrial Management Engineering with minor in Information Technology from De La Salle University. With 9 years of experience in the industry, he is now the marketing manager of First Balfour. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Ronald Yu.
So good afternoon. On behalf of First Balfour's management, we would like to thank Pinoy Builders for giving us this opportunity to share our mission. So I'm Ron Liu of First Balfour's marketing department, and our talk follows this outline. Our mission, walking the talk, where we will give you a virtual tour of First Balfour's head office, the first BERDA certified facility in the Philippines, our strategic priorities, and what collaboration means to us. As First Balfour, our primary business is in engineering and construction. Our parent company is First Philippine Holdings, or FPH, and we have been in the business for more than 50 years. As an engineering and construction company, we achieved the highest contractor accreditation, PCAB, in 2016. So being quadruple A means that we have satisfied a certain set of requirements, including having a net worth of 1 billion pesos. It is also proof of First Balfour's ability to undertake big ticket projects through the combination of our project management skills, engineering capabilities, and financial strength. So we adhere to quality, environment, safety, and occupational health standards. Also, we are one of the first triple ISO certified companies in the Philippines. So recently, we have also achieved the gold accreditation from Investors in People, or IIP, making us the first and only IIP gold certified engineering and construction company in the Philippines. Our groundwork is our people, nurtured and inspired by our compassionate culture. So one of the programs we have under the IIP is the Management Trainee Program, where I am a graduate of. Lastly, our head office in Sucat is the first to be awarded with BERDA Sign Recognition Certificate under BERDA for New Construction. 2 years ago, the company launched a new mission that stemmed out from our chairman, Mr. Federico R. Lopez, principle that doing the environment less harm is no longer good enough. So our mission does not only encompass construction requirements, but also to build structures that are green and resilient, most especially in the climate change world. And we are glad to be sharing these ideas to like-minded organizations such as Pinoy Builders and our esteemed participants in this webinar. We are one FPH mission in forging collaborative pathways for a decarbonized and regenerative future. For First Balfour, we align the mission through our chosen path. So we support nation building by delivering more complex infrastructures that create resilience and elevate the quality of life of the Filipino people in this complex climate change world. We'll also grow by developing business and complement our engineering and construction competencies. So this will allow us to influence and lead the transition towards decarbonization and regeneration in the industries we choose to invest in. On our way to play, we ask ourselves, how are we going to face the market? So for First Balfour, we want to be the leading influencer in the industry when it comes to sustainability, in terms of operations and the choice of projects that we get ourselves into. In terms of capability systems, we ask ourselves, what gives us the competitive advantage? And for First Balfour, we have enumerated these 5 capabilities. And lastly, apart from being an engineering construction company, we also intend to grow our allied businesses, including concrete and aggregates, and heavy equipment, rentals, and transports. So we currently focus on 4 key markets: transport infrastructure, water infrastructure, power and energy, and high-value buildings. backed by our strong core construction capabilities in earthworks, underground facilities, foundations, civil structural, and electromechanical works. So we have been walking the talk. In fact, our current office stands on a reused land. On the 21st of June 2011, we got ourselves a new office address in Sucat, Parañaque, just along the South Luzon Expressway. Then a 1-hectare, 3-building property. The office finally integrated our head office operations and plant and equipment yard. So previously we had offices at the 5th floor of the Benpress building, a satellite office in the Philippine Stock Exchange building, and an equipment maintenance yard in Baeh, Laguna. Okay, so this is a video. In 2016, we installed a 100 kilowatt peak solar rooftop in our head office. The 400 photovoltaic module system is supplying 42% of our head office power requirement since being energized in 2016. So here are some other initiatives that enabled us to become the first Verde certified facility in the Philippines. As mentioned earlier, current office stands on reused land. Back in 1988, the property was 1-hectare area that houses semiconductor manufacturing plant. Aside from the plant, it also had a warehouse and an office. So these old structures, which had a total building space of about 7,000 square meters and an open space of about 2,600 square meters, were renovated to the first Balfour facility we see today. In our effort towards building a net zero facility, we devised systems that save water through installation of dual flush water closets and a rainwater harvest system. So water costs are saved as rainwater is used for irrigation and for flushing water closets and urinals. So tamang-tama, no, rainy season na. So in terms of energy consumption, energy efficient light fixtures and fittings were also installed in the facility. And in 2018, we installed window films, which may seem invisible, but actually has 57% solar heat blocking capacity. So indoor heat as well as aircon usage are expected to drop further. Also, our carpets were made out of 25% recyclable materials. Our latest initiative is net metering, which enables this export of the solar energy to the public, the surplus solar energy, to further boost First Balfour's contribution to sustainability. So since October of 2019, has exported more than 50,000 kilowatt hours. So this is a diagram on how net metering works. All these efforts enabled us to reduce costs, as you see in this slide. Collectively, these initiatives resulted to a 29% drop in First Balfour's electricity consumption, and we continue to look for ways to curb it down further. Integrating decarbonization and regeneration into our businesses. So aside from the usual metrics we use to measure our growth, we are also working towards integrating decarbonization and regeneration into our business. We also aim to be the leading equipment rental and transport business in the Philippines, as well as reinforcing our concrete and aggregates division. So this will be discussed in the succeeding slides. So first is to understand decarbonization and regeneration further. So we are novices at this point. We began tracking and reducing carbon emissions. But when we compare ourselves to more advanced construction companies around the world, we realized we have a long way to go. But it is an exciting journey to follow because we know we'll be able to provide more value to society as we begin to fulfill these goals. Second, we would like to increase productivity and continue to reduce our consumption and wastage as we build transport, water infrastructures, green buildings, and power utilities. We need the technology to enable that. Third, where we can, we aim to influence owners or prospective clients to integrate sustainability into the design. While this is an easy sell for like-minded clients, it may take a lot more convincing for others. Fourth, digitalization is an obvious direction to improve efficiency. It is more than just converting hard copies to soft copies. It's also integrating all of our systems to make them more robust. And finally, for the procurement side, greening the supply chain. What are the major elements that will greatly influence the way we do business in the future? There will come a time where there has to be a decision point about which vendors we will work with and be allies in our mission. Overall, big words, big task, but a lot of interest from all of us in the way we will pursue these things. We started P1 Rentals, our equipment rental business in 2013, in order to reach that goal. These are the important strategic priorities in the next months. So while we increase our geographic exposure, we acknowledge that our operators are one of the important aspects in the business. We continue to develop them and bought training simulators, which help us in assessing and categorizing the skills of our operators. We also continue to collaborate with our partners to support their green initiatives. And lastly, exploring different types of ventures, such as in people transport. We bought our first 2 electric buses this year. So here's a photo of our newly acquired Atreus heavy goods vehicle simulator with one of our trained operators, developed and manufactured in France. Simulator which has dynamic motion seat enables operators to learn the skills of our current pool of drivers. It also enables T1 Transport, our transport and polling solutions subsidiary, to assess the skill level of driver applicants. T1 Transport also ventured into electric vehicles through our partnership with Global Electric Transport, or GET Philippines. So we purchased 2 units of its Comet EVs. So Comet, which stands for Community Optimized Managed Electric Transport, is a fully electric powered minibus with a 30-passenger seating capacity. So it currently serves as employee shuttle service vehicles for its client, First Philec, located inside the First Philippine Industrial Park. Servicing a client base composed of almost 400 different companies nationwide, T1 Rentals ensures that steps are taken to reduce the environmental impact of its vehicle fleet. So these steps include the use of GPS and telematics to track, monitor, and analyze equipment performance and fuel consumption in the field and to optimize delivery routes. So we also continue to make fleet efficiency gains in our equipment and rental operations. So we invested in greener equipment through the acquisition of Euro 5 trucks, exceeding the local emission standard, which only requires the use of Euro 4 in the Philippines. So data also shows that Euro 5 produces 22% less carbon emissions and 50% less particulate matter emissions than Euro 3. So for concrete and aggregates, we are transitioning to mobile batching plants to address the needs of our projects across the country. So to support and align with decarbonization and regeneration mission, we are now checking green suppliers and are scanning the market for potential new external engagement in the future. Other than concrete, of course, we need aggregates. Our aggregates division supply them to our ready-mix concrete division and other third-party suppliers. So we look to expand outside Calabarzon. Lastly, for precast, we'd like to implement precast use for upcoming key projects and other opportunities. So while we're at it, we also sharing with you our initiatives with external partners like our clients and our host communities. So here's the video. are already built factory projects in the first Philippine Industrial Park, or FPI, San Tomas, Batangas, is an example of a solar power ready building with a total of 2.4 hectares roof area. We saw this design fitting help reduce cost for our clients. Another one is the use of autoclave aerated concrete, AAC, as replacement to the traditional concrete hollow blocks. So these blocks are lightweight, which makes it faster to install. And these are sustainable too because it uses 20% recyclable materials. So AACs are sturdy and recyclable, making it an exceptionally green building material. So we use this material in one of our data center projects in Quezon City for a major telco company. One of our major projects to date, the Novaliches Balara Aqueduct 4 and BQ4, moved to a renewable energy source through the 140 megawatt Bachman geothermal power plant last Feb 2021. So the JV entered into an agreement with First Gen's Bachman Geothermal for the supply of 900 kilowatts of electricity per month to the project facility in Quezon City. And with one of our key clients, Energy Development Corporation, or EDC, together with TESDA, Region 5, and the local government of Sorsogon, we had an MOU to implement technical vocational training, or TECVOC, for the residents of EDC's host communities in Bachman through the Kananga EDC Institute of Technology Educational. It's a TESDA accredited post-secondary technical and vocational training center first formed in Kananga in 2009. So the aim is to develop multi-skilled, competent, and responsible workers, particularly for the construction and engineering industry. Another initiative with EDC, they conducted a learning session on setting net zero carbon targets with some of its valid vendor partners, First Balfour included. So in the sessions, we shared our current initiatives to lower our carbon footprint and our willingness to work together to help decarbonize our economy. Another collaborative project is the EcoBrick, wherein ordinary PET bottles stuffed with non-biodegradable materials such as fabric, wrappers, plastic bags, and even egg trays were transformed into bricks and made usable to simple structures. Here are some samples. Project WASH, Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene, brought forth new hygiene facilities in public schools in Batangas and Rizal. So the WASH facility is made from eco-bricks collected from First Balfour employees and their families and friends, and is built to address the need for more sanitation facilities in Philippine public schools. Also made of eco-bricks, a livelihood center in Mabini, Batangas. Lastly, a partnership with Mondelez for various eco-brick projects, such as EcoSlide and a student lounge. So can you just imagine how candy wrapper of plastic bags could actually be used to build a house? And can you just imagine the amount of waste that could be reduced by then? To forge a better and safer environment for the future generation is the path that First Balfour choose to take, and we acknowledge the possible disruptions that goes along the journey, as well as the challenges brought about by the pandemic. We sincerely thank the Pinoy builders for allowing us to be part of the webinar and share our active involvement by being a responsible builder. The benefit of this journey might take a while before it is realized, but by doing something even small but valuable in the present would create a ripple effect for the future. It is First Balfour's mission to forge collaborative pathways for a decarbonized and regenerative future. And we trust that by doing this together, we can make a difference and influence change. So there's no better season to start, as we cannot expect things to go back to its normal way. So let us now allow the opportunity on building a better world to pass. Maraming salamat. Make sure to follow our social media pages, the right side of your screen, and our website to get the latest updates on our business and on our